Die Hard was directed by John McTiernan and started a very popular franchise, an action franchise actually, and the first movie's probably the best in the franchise. So it's basically stars Bruce Willis, which I think is a very talented actor. If you don't know who he is, you really need to go educate yourself. But yeah, it stars Bruce Willis, and he basically plays this character named John McClane. He basically has a wife and something like that, and she's being held hostage by these group of terrorists that are breaking in to an international building, and she's being held hostage along with all of these other people, and these terrorists are trying to track down John McClane, and in order for him to save his wife and see his family again, he has to fight against a terrible man named Hans, along with his henchmen, in a huge action blowout. Now, before I start talking about this movie, I'm just gonna talk about me and the action movies. I do like action movies a lot when they're good, or even when they're great, and Die Hard is a perfect example. I'm a huge fan of Bruce Willis. I think he's a fantastic actor, and this movie does prove otherwise why he's such a great actor. This is probably his most well-known movie franchise. There's a lot of things in this movie that I enjoyed, and this movie's very fun and suspenseful in so many ways, and it keeps you in your seat. If you love like movies like people shooting at other people and action stuff, you will love Die Hard. I'm just gonna say this, you will love Die Hard. It has to be one of the greatest action films and action thriller films out there in the world today. Like seriously, it's that good. I thought the suspense was top-notch. The action in this movie was actually pretty stellar as well. Even the drama in this movie was actually pretty cool. When I first saw this movie, I didn't expect the drama to come so quickly. In most movies, you don't really have that happening, but in Die Hard, it does work, and it works perfectly. Now, I don't have to mention that obviously the best actor in this film is Bruce Willis. Willis's performance in this movie is absolutely fantastic. He had a lot of charisma, and he just played a very likable character, and he was funny at times too, and serious. I also loved Alan Rickman as Hans, which by the way, he passed away recently. He was a great actor. I loved some of his movies that he were in, but yeah, anyway, rest in peace. But he did a great job playing as Hans. He did a good job on bringing the dark and sinister inside this entire, not just him, but the entire terrorist inside the building. And I've noticed that Alan Rickman was one of those actors who usually plays as villainous characters. And I can see why. Like, you have other characters like, actors like Tim Curry. He plays as a lot of villainous characters. And you have this man, Alan Rickman. Yeah, he plays as a lot of villainous characters as well. And this is probably one of his greatest roles. I also liked Alexander Godunov, who played as this character named Carl, which, no surprise, who also passed away back in the 90s. Rest in peace. I think he was very talented in this movie. Carl was actually one of these in this movie, he was actually a very interesting character. Even though you didn't really know much about these terrorists and why they were coming to do all these terrible things to these people. But when the terrorists were on screen, like, Carl would literally pop up in every action scene that was going on, as well as Bruce Willis. But yes, Hans and Carl were very interesting characters, and the villains played by very talented actors who passed away. Rest in peace to both of them, and they were very talented, but their performances will never be forgotten, especially in movies like this. I was shocked by the performances in this movie, and not just Bruce or Alan Rickman. Every actor and actress in this movie played a part. Like, they all played a part. Like, the people who were playing as the hostages, like, when they were in the terrorist attack, they actually, like, felt like they were in a terrorist attack. And they had to pretend that they were actually in a terrorist attack. They had to pretend that this is all real. And you're seeing this on screen, and you feel bad for these people. They have to pretend that all of this is actually happening, and they do it perfectly. Every single actor and actress in this movie did everything perfect, and I was surprised and I was impressed of the performances in this movie. And Die Hard is one of those movies where you can It's this movie's literally like 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and this is one of those movies where you can keep on looking at the movie and something's always happening. There's always action scenes. There's always Bruce Willis running away from terrorists and trying to get his wife back. There's always something going on, and it's actually very interesting on what's happening in the film, which made the film one of the greatest action and thriller movies of all time, considering that this was also a box office and critical success. I also loved Reginald Val Johnson, who plays as this police officer named Al Powell. I think that's his name. I think he was great in this movie. The communication and the connection between him and John McClane was one of the best things to ever come across in this film. And yes, I am going to get into just a tad of spoilers, so if you haven't seen this movie, leave this movie review right now. The things that happen, like basically the connections between him and John McClane, when basically like Powell's talking on the microphone, not the microphone, the walkie-talkie, and he's trying to help John McClane get out of the situation and stuff like that when he's all the way nearly at the top of the building. And how he's going to escape from these terrorists, and if he's not going to get out alive. The connections between those two characters were one of the greatest parts in this film. McClane even tells Powell about what would happen if he didn't make it out alive. And if he didn't make it out alive, he told Powell to tell his wife about the mistakes that he did to her, which brought some sad moments, which made the connection between those two characters work. The connection between those two characters are fascinating. The action scenes in this movie are top notch. The suspense is very stellar, and the directing is also top notch. Guys, I don't have to say already that Die Hard is one of the greatest action thriller films of all time, because it is. It's literally great. Not good, great. This is definitely a movie that I think everyone should see at least once and appreciate it. And yes, this is probably a movie I will share with my friends as I get older and older and older. And you know what? I'm pretty sure my friends will appreciate it too. And I can see why. Frick, the movie has Bruce Willis in it. That's good enough. Along with great action scenes, other talented actors and actresses, and strong connections in the film. This is definitely an action thriller masterpiece film. And it deserves to be recognized by at least everyone in this world. This movie's that great, and I love this movie deep. And of course, Die Hard gets an A+. I'm just gonna let you know, if you haven't seen this movie, I don't like you. Seriously, you need to see this movie. It's great. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. The action and everything works in this movie. The characters and the connections work. The suspense and action and thrilling works. Everything works about this movie. I love and adore everything about this movie. So thank you, the person who requested me to review this movie, Die Hard, in the comment section in the Alien movie review. Thank you for requesting me to do this movie. It's a very great movie, and thank you, because I also might review the other movies from the franchise, Die Hard 2, 3, and 4. So yes, I decided, since I did a review of Die Hard 1, why not do the franchise, the entire franchise? So yeah, sometime I'm going to review the other Die Hard movies. I don't know if I'm going to do it quick, because I still have horror movies to do for Horror Movie Month, but yeah, I'll definitely review the other Die Hard movies. But anyway, thank you for requesting the movie. Shout out to the requester of who told me to do this movie review of Die Hard. It's a fantastic movie. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching me do a movie review of Die Hard. And you guys are the best. I love every single one of you. I am already near 300 subscribers. Without you guys, I wouldn't have made it here. It felt like yesterday I only have 3. I'm already near 300. So you guys are the best. Thank you very much. And as always, I'm MarioFan520, and I will see you next time. Peace out.